Well, good evening, everybody, and happy Halloween. It's been a while, isn't it? I know. I've been busy, but hey, this time, I'm not gonna miss this. It's that wonderful time of year. What I'm gonna do today, haven't done in a while because I did this before, I feel it was like 5 years ago when I started back in 2013 or 2014. That I made some ghost story videos, which they were quite good. So, I'm gonna bring it back to honor this wonderful holiday. But, any further ado, let's begin, shall we?
Modern day Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. From the beautiful beaches, tasty food, and wonderful culture lays a dark secret. On the grounds of the old Spanish fortress San Cristobal, below on the lower parts, is a sentry box that faces the ocean. Not known to tourists, but locals know what sentry box they're talking about. What lays below is a tower of terror, and even an entrance to hell itself. That there is the devil's sentry box. For those who are religious, they know well the story of the devil's sentry box. The story of the sentry box dates back way 300 years ago. The story goes that the Spanish guards entered the box and stand guard alone and facing the endless ocean. By morning, when their replacement arrives, no one is inside the sentry box. Many of the guards believe the sentry box is an entrance to the fiery pits of hell. The more famous is the disappearance of a Spanish captain and a beautiful young woman. The story goes there was a party at the fortress. The young captain fell in love with a woman. They walked away from the party and hid in the sentry box for some privacy. By morning, they were gone. Many in the community believe they eloped and live in the Alunque rainforest, but many know what really happened. So, till this day, the sentry box remains alone, staring at the endless ocean. So those who dare to enter the sentry box, do it at your own risk. On the beaches of Quebradilla, on the rocky slopes, is an old tunnel used during the sugarcane boom during the early 20th century. Known as the train tunnel of Oaxaca, it was built by the Puerto Rico Railroad from 1904 to 1905. During the half of the 20th century, many steam engines passed through this tunnel with sugar and passengers until in 1911, passenger train number 42 was carrying passengers. It was on the passage for the tunnel. The engine derailed and crashed outside the tunnel. Only 12 were killed at the scene of the crash. By 1957, most of the railroad has been shut down after the government opened roads and highways so goods and people can get to places faster. By the 60s, all of the railway was gone. In 2000, the tunnel was declared a national monument and brought some tourism to the area. By day, many go to the beach that's next to the tunnel, but at night, many locals who walk to the tunnel at night often hear the sound of a steam engine and a steam whistle. But older people know that's the ghost train of engine number 42 trying to complete its journey through the tunnel. Even people who walk close to the tunnel entrance can hear a steam whistle and even a bright light believing to be the engine itself. Others, the screams of the 12 passengers who were killed on the day of the crash. So, when you plan your next trip to Guayataca Beach in Quebradilla, make sure you go during the day. And if you have the guts to stay after dark, you may even hear the faint steam engine's whistle. Just make sure you don't get on board. It's a one-way trip. Around in the 18th century, in the city of Old San Juan, there was a beautiful woman, and she was the daughter of the city's executioner. She fell in love with this young man who was a thief and a beggar. The father didn't like him, so he had the young man arrested and hanged on the execution docks of El Morro Castle. One night, the young woman was looking for her lover. When she got to the castle, she was in shock to see her lover's lifeless body swinging on the ropes. He was hanged. On that tragic night, she picked up a barrel, climbed on top, tied the rope around her neck. She closed her eyes, kicked the barrel, and fell and killed herself. When morning rose, her father went looking for her. When he found her, it was too late. Seeing his daughter's lifeless body swinging alongside her lover. Centuries pass, and people say on windy nights, when the moon is full and bright, you can see two shadows on the fortress's walls where the execution dock once stood, a shadow of a man and a woman swinging along the wind. Buried in Old San Juan's most beautiful cemetery, Cementerio Santa Maria Magdalena de Pacis, is Felix Benitez Lechac, an engineer and businessman famous for designing the Normandy Hotel, one of San Juan's grandest hotels and one of the finest examples of the Art Deco style in the world. First opened in 1942, he designed the hotel to be a replica of the French ocean liner SS Normandy, where he met his first wife, a French singer named Lucienne Dehortele, but better known as La Momée Moineau, the Little Sparrow. In translation, the hotel featured a beautiful pool where La Momée liked to swim, but it caused a scandal because she liked to swim European-style sans clothing. If you know what I mean, skinny dipping. Both of them are buried in the cemetery, and there's even a bust of Felix with a frieze mosaic of Monet behind him at their tomb. That didn't stop Lomé from swimming there, even though she died in 1968. The hotel renovated in the 1990s, but closed in 2009. While during the early 2000s, employees in the lobby smelled a sweet French perfume. Nobody has ever used a perfume like that, and never did. Her Spears visits the closed hotel, and also in the cemetery where she is buried, along with her husband. When visiting the grave, make sure to notice the sweet smell in the air. She might be watching.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the story. Well, the night is getting dark. Soon, they'll be full of fright. As for the stories I wrote, they're all based in fact. They actually did happen. There are other two I actually read, but I'm going to say that as a bonus. Besides, Halloween comes once a year, And to me, I like Halloween. I think it's a better holiday because it's like one big Comic-Con, like I said before. And besides, I remember when I was young, I think I was living in Florida in the land. I remember I go trick-or-treating. I was living in Lake Thomas Street at the time, from 2004 to 2008. Damn, you can't miss the old candy from those days. I mean, like old school candy, like before, like in plastic, you had like those tinfoil wraps and that. Damn, you can never forget those. Things have changed, and also here in Puerto Rico, they don't celebrate it because the island is mostly Catholic, and you'll be having those religious fanatics be like, "Oh, we can't celebrate that. That's the devil's day." No, okay, that was cringe, but still, yeah, ignore those people. Man, they're the ultimate party poopers. For me now, I'm just reading these two here that I got. Tales from the Crypt, Volume 1, and Vault of Horror, Volume 1. I'm planning to pre-order the other Volume 1 of Haunt of Fear in November. Which, hey, you gotta love a good comic, especially with horror. Anywho, have a great night. Be safe, check your candy, and stay scary. See ya.